on. Oh, there we are. Okay, I can yell at you. Well, welcome to the Baldwin Park High School Choral Spring Concert 2018. Yes! And for those of you who don't know, my name is Mrs. Salmon, and I am the proud director of our 4 wonderful choirs here on so we have our, your spoiler alert, go back. For your information, we have our choraleers and our Braves choir, which are entry-level choirs. Anybody who wants to learn how to sing can come into those groups. Although, as you will notice throughout the evening, we have a mix, because once guys come into that men's choir, they want to stay in the men's choir, right, guys? Okay, so. And then we have our intermediate women, known as the treble tones, and then we have our advanced chamber choir, who get up at 6:30 in the morning. Well, some of them. Get there at 6:30 in the morning to work on advanced college-level literature. And I'm very proud. I couldn't think of a better group of choirs to have as my final year in Baldwin Park. So. So I kind of sneak in a 5th choir the 2nd semester as we join the treble tones and the Braves choir together to make our concert choir. And as a matter of fact, now, thank you, Paul. All right, keeping up the grand tradition of our choirs, all of our groups received superior ratings at their festivals this year, which is I was so nervous about talking today, and I had all these prepared things, and then I was so nervous, I ripped them up and threw them away. So now we're going to be here for 3 hours. Okay, but I do want to take you down memory lane a little bit, because you see, 1, since this is my last year, I want to share these things with you. And 2, there's also, this is sad, but once I leave, there is some history of this choral program that probably will be lost. Unless somebody calls me on the phone and asks me about it, and then we're assuming that I still have my memory. So here we go. Wow, who is that? Oh my gosh. Okay, so those of you who were not my high school students, but you went to a Baldwin Park elementary school between 1982 and 1993. You probably know Ms. Alexander. And so you might remember that. And here's, okay, so this is my special party tonight, right? So my tale about that is the church we go to, we were at like this kind of gathering, and one of the clergy was at our table, and we went around, what do you do, what do you do? Oh, I teach music in Baldwin Park, and he looked at me and he said, oh, are you Miss Alexander? And I went, what do you mean? He said, I grew up in Baldwin Park, and I had you as an elementary music teacher. And I said, what? And he was so excited because the little games we had played with rhythm instruments and percussion instruments had inspired him to join our wonderful instrumental program that we have here in Baldwin Park Unified School District. Shout out to all of our orchestra and band teachers in the room. You guys are awesome. SV band, and he played at the UCLA band as well. So, how did you know what would happen? Pretty cool, huh? All right, and then over here, some of you in the room, actually I should probably ask, how many of you are alumni of the choral program of Baldwin Park? Okay, good. All right, I'm really glad there's so many of you because we're going to sing in 4-part harmony later. Okay, so up here, that was our room when it was M40. How many of you remember M40? No? Okay. Actually, I know several people that do. We have Brian Gelly and Jenny, I don't know if your last name, okay, it's still the same. But I'm telling you, okay, story, right? My first year at Baldwin Park High School, 1993, there was only one choir, and we only had a few people, and there were only a couple people that, well, I don't want to insult anybody, but there were only a couple people that could actually sing. And Jenny and Brian were two of them, and they were amazing. And they had a passion for musical theater, and it turned out that Brian went on into musical theater. He became a part of the touring national company of Miss Saigon. Yeah, pretty awesome. He's somewhere in this area. You can meet him. He's very nice. Okay, so, all right, but then over here in this corner, actually, what I really did want to talk about are 3 game changers for me going to Baldwin Park High School. The first, or one of them, since I started on it already, was when the room was rehabbed. We went from this old room with no storage, and some of you remember that, it was called M40, and when it was rehabbed, you can see it's from a different angle over there. On the far right, it's a beautiful room. Now it's called room 202. We have storage, we have beautiful acoustics, it's a lovely room, and it makes a difference. In fact, the band used to be next door, and we could hardly hear ourselves. And then they moved the band to the back of school. Okay, so, and we could finally hear, and we could tune, and yay, that makes a big difference. And storage makes a big difference too, right? We all have houses. So the second game changer, and this is probably most significant, is there were a string of principals who really believed and understood that in order for a musical program to be successful, you need successive and sequential learning. You can't just have one choir with beginning, intermediate, and advanced students all together. You need a beginning or entry-level choir, an intermediate, and an advanced choir, so that everybody can stay in the program for 1, 2, 3, or 4 years. How many of you have been in this program for 4 years? Raise your hand. All right, 3 years. All right, 2 years, and your first year. All right, pretty sweet. All right, and the last game changer was this building. It was built in 1996. And before that, we were doing, and I bet that Brian and Jenny remember, we had to perform in the cafeteria and in the gymnasium. M40. And I do want to do another shout out to Mr. Ricardo Gallegos, who brought his lights and lit the cafeteria and the gymnasium, which is amazing. So is Ricardo here? Ricardo, are you here? No? Okay, well anyway, yay for Ricardo! I honestly could not do what I do, and we have beautiful Connie here, we'll talk about her later. But our choirs could not do what they do and achieve the level of ability that they do without the 4 long-term accompanists that we've had. Ms. White was there for a couple of years. She left in '95. Greg Snyder was there for 10.5 years. He actually worked on his teaching credential while he was bus in the morning, and then you'd go to Jones Junior High, and he would teach the choirs there. Yeah. And now he has his own music program in Pennsylvania. Yeah, nice, huh? And then Mr. Noel Melanio. I think he might be in the audience somewhere tonight, but each of these accompanists have added their personality, their skills, their abilities. Noel left us for Disneyland. All right, so what I'm saying to you is you can play a game called Where's Melanio?
Not here!
That was his voice, I'd know it anywhere. So you can go to Disneyland and look for Melanio. Where's Melanio? You can look for him in the Pirate Band in New Orleans. You can look for him at the Fantasy Fair. You can look for him at the end of Main Street, the Ragtime Piano. Yes, indeed. Yeah, what is right? So, you guys with Disney passes, guess what? That's the first thing I'm doing when I'm retired. I'm buying the premium Disney pass. And then, last but not least, and I think this gentleman is also with us, Mr. Alex Landsberg. They help to teach notes, they help the musicianship, they help soloists who are working on solos, they help in so many ways. And I will say thank you to Danny Wagner and to the Baldwin Park Unified School District for giving us the gift of full-time accompanists. It is so awesome. So please, a round of applause. So want to thank, because from the bottom of my heart, Okay. Middle years, really fast, and a lot of people don't even know we did this. Thanks to some creative fundraising, and Dr. Dominguez, who was on the school board, and an extremely generous benefactor who believed in our program at Baldwin Park High School, World Program. We competed in the Heritage Festival several times in San Diego, several times in San Francisco, once in Chicago, once in Seattle, and 3 times in New York. Raise your hand if you went on any of those trips. Raise your hand if you went on any of those trips. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that there are tales to tell, but I don't really want to know all of them. And then we live in Los Angeles, and Los Angeles is pretty awesome. And something that we've been able to do off and on for many years is to go to see a professional Broadway show at the Pantages or at the Amundsen Theater. For a lot of years, before our drama teacher, Jennifer Nitschke, set up a nice, solid spring musical culture at our school, there was no real musical theater at our school. And so, some of you remember this, we would go see a musical, and then we'd do a mini musical, which would be a medley of tunes from that show, fully costumed in like 15 or 20 minutes. And yeah, that was pretty great. Well, we don't have to do that anymore because we have fantastic, in fact, yes, my next story. The gentleman up in the lighting booth, Mr. Jim Mora. He was one of my original students, and then One of those principals that believed in our program also believed me when I said, you need to hire a drama teacher, because I had 1 choir and 4 drama classes. And I kept growing the program, and the drama, I said, we need both programs, not just one, we need both. And so the principal that hired Holly Farrell to take over the drama, yeah, Miss Farrell, but during that time, we went to the Pantages, we saw Beauty and the Beast, and coming full circle, Jim has come back into town to pay back. He became a professional tech, and you know what? When we went to see Beauty and the Beast, that was the first time he said, I think that's what I want to do with my life. And so he went out in the big world, and he got all of his craft, and now he's come back to Baldwin Park to pay it forward with the students of Baldwin Park, and I think that's so awesome. For me, in my heart, we performed at the LA Master Chorale Festival. You guys remember that? Yeah, that's one of my favorite days. But also my other, I'm a Disney dweeb, okay? And here we are in 1998, our very first Disney performance. That's the Carnation Plaza, which is now the Princess Fantasy Fair at Disney. And then there we are, this group, on stage at California Adventure this past year. And I'm just so proud of everything that's gone on, and I hope that the district continues to support programs, help them to grow, and the instrumental, the choral, the drama, the visual art, all of the what are called VAPA classes. And so, without further ado, and I think this is a perfect song. Oh, they got their cues.